Yo, what's up, guys? So this is episode 3 of Prehistoric Park, I believe, not including the walk around episode, but let's see what we get. We're gonna be doing once again another randomized cage, and I'm hoping to get something that matches the environment we've been doing and the type of area we've been doing. Similar species I would hope for, maybe. Anyways, let's do it in 3 2 1. Oh wait, this is actually perfect. This will match up our area perfect. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna get straight into the time lapse. Okay, so this enclosure, honestly, I turned out really liking it. Honestly, do not remember the animal's name that we built, because this is like 3 days ago we built the enclosure. There will be like 3 more videos coming out because I've worked on the park with my friend quite a lot, so those should come out in the next few days. This one might come out today, or as I'm editing it, or the next day, which I'm not sure. But anyways, besides that, I kind of took inspiration off the previous cage, but when I looked up the environment and kind of like did a little bit of research and to figure out where they live, it was more like floodplains than what we did in the previous cage, which was more of like a dry shrub type land, I guess, with some little bit of wetness. Well, this is more, that sounded weird, but this is more primarily just wetland. We added a little bit of a nice little, not forest, but like some trees and stuff, for shade and whatnot. We are probably going to stick to this type of style of shelters for now on. My friend is the one that's doing really all the shelters now. In this episode I did them, but beyond that, he's probably going to start doing all the shelters now. It did turn out pretty well than what I thought it was going to turn out, because at first when we were doing it, I was a little bit worried about the wetland type of aspect, because we haven't done that before. But you'll see in future episodes now we use this type of style of wetland because it fits well for the Triassic animals, especially animals that are like greenish and grayish in color. The contrast is perfect between the animal and the actual nature. So the type of camouflage some animals might have. I did call them hippos. They remind me of hippos, so we did give them a decent amount of water. Obviously, I don't think they swim or anything, but I think they're really cool. And another thing I will mention is that we are adding some Permian animals. We weren't planning on adding them, but they're kind of mixed into the Triassic period, which is what we're doing. Due to the fact that we didn't pick as many for the Triassic, and we picked a lot for like the Jurassic, and we're gonna have a lot for the Cretaceous as the updates come out. So we are adding a few animals, and you should see that in the later episodes, which that episode will come out in, I don't think, not too long from now. Probably Friday. I would give Friday is probably the date that episode will come out, because I still have a few videos to edit and whatnot. These videos don't take tremendous time to edit, but they're still a while. Besides that, let's get back to the cage. Yeah, so also we started using a lot of rock walls now. We weren't gonna originally do that, but there's another park we built, we finished building it like a few months ago. I'd say like 6 months ago, and we used a lot of rock walls for it, and it makes it look natural and nice. But we're kind of, instead of only using rock walls like before, we're kind of mixing cage with the rock wall and the shelter and some viewing areas, which I think is to the benefit of the actual build, due to the fact that it just looks a ton better with a mix of stuff, especially when you're not overusing something. Because I noticed before we were overusing the rock, and every cage looked about the exact similar. I mean, not exact similar, it looked very similar. And as you can see near that cage where the rock is, for the Postosuchus cage, I don't know if you guys noticed that, there's nothing over there right now. We are doing like a cool bridge that we already built it, but we're doing a cool bridge into a specific animal, and I'm not going to mention what it is, but I think it's a pretty cool animal, and I think it's going to be a pretty cool build, which I think that's the next episode I'm going to post, or it might be the carnivore we're doing, which I'm not going to mention the name for that either. But besides that, also I want to give props to the mod creators of this mod. We've been looking at the animations and all the small details with this mod, and it's freaking beautiful. The animations are great. There's some like things the animals do that seem so real, and there's one animal adding that uses its head to bump you or hit you, and they do it with the other species as well, and it's so freaking cool. That's the one thing I felt that we missed in our previous park, was the animals feeling real. We used prehistoric fauna for that. Although I do like the mod still, obviously it's a great mod. It doesn't feel real life to me, and the animals seem a little bit dull because they kind of just walk around and sleep, and that's about it. This mod though has they itch themselves, they yawn, they do so much stuff. One thing I wish they had though was sleeping, because I feel like during night it would make it feel more real and everything. But honestly, besides that, I don't have too much more to say for this cage. There will be some screenshots at the end of the video, and I will, you know, come back to, you know, say the last few things. But besides that, that's it for now. But one thing I forgot to mention previously was that I love the fact that in this mod the animals are actually good size and they're not like reborn size. Like if you guys don't know Jurassic World Reborn the mod, I can't. They're way too big in that mod. There is another Jurassic World, Jurassic Park inspired mod that's coming out that has much better accurate sizes. Because otherwise, you know, we'd have to build these cages massive. And we do like to give the dinosaurs and the prehistoric animals a lot of space, but still, you know, the animals in that mod, like if we were to give them the same amount of space to ratio the body size, like of what we're doing here, they'd be way too big. But besides that, honestly, as you guys can see, the foliage is looking really nice, and and we're gonna start, you know, using more bushery and stuff in our enclosures depending on the type of environment. We did do like a deserty savanna environment for I think that will be the next episode, but we didn't really add any bushes to that one. More so a specific type of tree and log, which I think you'll guys like. But honestly, I think this cage did turn out pretty good. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. We did add some like puddles of water around the cage and everything, and I think it, you know, adds some nice, you know, contrast and whatnot to the enclosure, especially because it's a wetland. I don't think there should be one spot only where there's water. You know, I think the water should span throughout the entire cage, I feel like. That's just my opinion, but yeah, anyways, I'm gonna let the the screenshots roll, and see you guys in the next episode.